Good evening, everyone. Got some interesting information for you. I'm going to suggest that people go to the post on this channel and check out the videos that I've shared throughout the day, off and on, because this is some pretty important information. It pretty much backs up what I talk to people about. If you saw my live stack substream, if not, they made several clips. I didn't do anything to do that. I guess they just go ahead and create clips off the Substack that I shared, onto the post, and quite a few people have seen those and liked them, thumbs them up, and all that jazz. So I appreciate people doing that, or at least viewing them. They're pretty short clips for the most part, but those clips really didn't have a whole lot to do with what I'm going to talk to y'all about, though. Even though the entire live stream, our live stream, kind of does. But without further ado, it appears that November 1st target date for shutting down Snap, EBT, and I guess even Wick. I didn't think they were going to mess with Wick, but they might. It appears that may be the case. Could even be sooner than that, a little later, but that November 1st date is the date that everybody keeps talking about. And if you look at the videos that I posted and shared, that's pretty much what it's inferring, is that on November 1st, EBT, SNAP, possibly WIC, food stamps, whatever people want to say, will either be canceled or significantly reduced to where pretty much useless, I guess. I mean, if people are used to getting, pains me to say this, but thousands of dollars a month on this, or whether it's a few hundred, if it goes down to 30, 40 bucks, well, they're not going to be able to get, people won't be able to get a whole lot with that. So anyway, I want to put this out there so people can be ready for what seems like an eventuality now. One person, the Snyder Reports, it's not Michael T. Snyder, the author, but another guy. They don't even look the same. I doubt they're related. They just have the same name, and actually the same spelling of their name, their last name too, but it's kind of interesting. But anyway, I was unsubscribed to his channel a while back, I guess, and my friend Tom emailed me one of his videos, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember this guy, and I checked it out. I was like, wow, this is some really, really good information coming up for November 1st. But he mentioned that, even as far back as the 29th, which I thought was interesting, because that's, the date of the great stock market crash in 1929, but also interesting in the fact that if they started to do something like on the 29th, just as a hypothetical, if you look at Doc Marquis' videos, I should say, his teachings on the pagan holidays or whatever, and what's referred to as Samhain for this time of year, the Helloween celebration festival and whatnot, it actually goes from like the 29th to the 2nd. So the 29th of October, the 2nd of November. So, because it's a long festival, feast time or what have you. And so I'm thinking to myself, well, yeah, that would make sense that they would start this up right before Helloween, because that's what people celebrate. That's what they look forward to. That's what they want. They want the darkness. They want the chaos. They want the violence. Maybe they don't want the chaos and the violence, but you get that with the darkness. They want to celebrate dark things, demonic things, satanic things, at cursed acres and a haunted house this and a haunted mansion that, and ghost hunting and all the kind of paranormal activities and all the rest of that stuff. So I'm thinking to myself, that does make a lot of sense. I mean, you talk about a Halloween horror story, I can't think of too many things more horrific than people not being able to get food, because it's further than that. It's deeper than that. I don't understand it all completely, so I'll let Michael Snyder's videos explain it better. I suggest people just go to the post and watch his videos. But I do know that certain grocery stores are involved in this, to where they either will not accept SNAP EBT, or, yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. They won't accept it. And the stores that were mentioned were like Walmart, Aldi, Publix, Kroger, Albertsons, Target. I'm thinking, wow, those are like some of the big name staples, especially Walmart and Target. I'm thinking to myself, wow. So if people, imagine this, people are standing in line, they're thinking that they have EBT, SNAP benefits, that something's loaded on their card because maybe they didn't check their mail, maybe they didn't get it in the mail, maybe they didn't get an email or check their emails or whatever it is, or maybe they just simply were not informed. And they get up there and they're going to buy whatever it is they're going to buy, and then all of a sudden there's nothing on their card. They don't have any cash. Their debit card doesn't have hardly anything in the bank. Credit cards are maxed out. I mean, this is an extreme scenario, but yet very possible. What are people going to do? And it's a bunch of people. It's not just a few people. I mean, one of the videos talked about 46 states in 2026, if not sooner, basically canceling SNAP EBT altogether in early 2026. Okay, like I said, if not sooner, canceling it altogether, or reducing it to the point where, I mean, it almost really doesn't even matter for people. So I'm thinking, what are people going to do? So they suggest, that people give to food pantries, because food pantries are running out of food and whatnot. And in certain communities, like a community center or a senior citizen or senior center, or certain churches or whatever, they might have a box where you can put canned goods in the box to help the homeless or the needy or what have you. So that's a good thing. But then a lot of people are struggling so much to the point where they can barely help themselves, much less the homeless or the needy. So what are people going to do? I said, I mean, I'm not trying to be, invoke fear here, but this sounds like a Helloween horror story to me. I mean, because you got all of these people, what are they going to do if they're not ready, which is most people, and they're expecting that are on these benefits, and they're expecting them to work. They're expecting them when they get up to the checkout, for them to be able to pay for whatever they purchase, and now it won't. It doesn't. What are people going to do? This has been talked about for a long, long, long time. Years and years and years. And I know people kind of have turned probably a blind eye and a deaf ear to it, because, a lot of people, including me, thought that it was going to happen like back in the spring or whatever, or, even prior to that. You put yourself out there, say, hey, you might want to be prepared for this, and everything's fine. You get egg all over your face, and and then channels made about you, and people talking trash about you, and mocking you and making fun of you. It's like, okay, well, whatever, because now it looks like it's payday. Payday is here, but not the good kind of payday, like the payday for where people have been not preparing, not doing what they needed to do, or maybe they tried to prepare and they just couldn't, or whatever the scenario is. I don't know what everybody's personal situation is. But now, it's here. What are people going to do? And it appears that if it does start the 29th, well, today's the 20th. That does not give people a lot of time to get done what they need to get done, to prepare the way that they would like to prepare or need to prepare. So it's pretty much too late. I mean, I hate to say that, but it kind of is. I mean, it really is. People should have been preparing for a long, long time. I mean, I've been preaching it and teaching it, as well as many, many other people, for a long, long time. And I said, for a lot of times it's fallen on deaf ears. I mean, Not all the time, but a lot of times it has. And people, they live life, and that's great and everything, but they live life very recklessly and carelessly. And now it seems like payday might finally be here. And on top of that, of course, the market keeps going up, gold and silver, and it goes up. The dollar goes way down. Nobody seems to be really paying too much attention to that because the stock market's looking great today, right? You get all smiles, with these people there, and and I'm just thinking to myself but that's not real money. That is not a true indicator of the real economy. That's not the true economy. This is fake. This is fraud. This is not real. I mean, this is the Matrix, okay? This is not real, okay? But you can't convince most people of that. They see the stock market continue to go up, the Dow is good, everything's in the green. They think that's the real economy. And that's the deception. That's the lie. And I don't know how else to say it. I mean, I'm kind of somber about it. I'm in a pretty good mood overall because the weather's really nice. It's cool. And, the screen's even blacker than it usually is because I'm wearing black pants today because I need to wear pants because it's chilly enough for that. But the sun's out shining, the skies are blue, the leaves are changing on the trees. I mean, on the outside, looking in, it looks great. Kind of reminds me of Tales from the Dark Side. People remember that old show or movie or whatever. I know that's a long time ago. It's like, why are you watching that kind of stuff? I hear you. But the bottom line is, it reminds me of that. If you remember the opening sequence, it's like everything looks nice and sunny and bright and everything else. But there's a dark side. There's the underbelly of that. As above, so below kind of thing. And so it's kind of deceiving because the sky looks great, there's no trails in it, today anyway. Sun's shining. I mean, weather's cooling down, leaves are changing on the trees. It looks beautiful. It looks gorgeous. But deep down, we're a decaying society, a decaying country, a decaying nation. It's just sad. So it's somber in that way. You try to be, up and in a good mood because, like I said, the weather's nice and everything, but getting this information today, it doesn't really bring my mood down, really. I mean, because I'm having a good day overall. But at the same time, it's just like, wow, we've heard about this for years, especially, maybe the last few months or so. And it's like, maybe it's here now. It seems like it might be within the next few days, 7-10 days, whatever it is. I don't know if the market crashes by the end of the month or not. Probably not. They probably just kick the can further down the road like they always do. But the Snap EBT thing, that's real. That's real. You can't hide from that. You can't deny that. And I do not want to be in the line when people trying to use their Snap EBT card, benefits, whatever, and they find out when they get up to the register there's nothing on that card, and they can't check out. How do you think people are going to respond and react? What do you think is going to happen, especially with the holidays coming up? Especially Thanksgiving at the end of the month and whatnot. The end of, not this month, but November. What do you think people are going to do? So anyway, I'm going to keep this short. It's mostly just for information purposes, So I don't know, prepare accordingly. Share it out if you want to. You don't have to share out the video. I don't expect anybody to listen to this or share it out. Nobody wants to look at a black screen. I get it. It's just easier for me to do them this way. But check out the post if you want. And I don't know. It's the second time I'm doing this video. The first one was a lot longer. I said a whole lot more. Probably stuff I shouldn't have said, so I'm not uploading that one. But this one, I guess just prepare accordingly, I guess I'm going to stick with the title, A Helloween Horror Story, because I don't know what else to call it, I can think of few things more horrific than people not having food for their family, for their children, because they're not prepared, and the pantry's not having it, and them not being able to get what they need at the grocery store. I mean, that would be severe panic. these are the things that I have always had in the back of my mind for a long time. Like, how am I going to respond? How am I going to react? What am I going to do if people start knocking on my door or whatever? Because their family's starving. They have no food. They have nothing. I mean, these are the decisions that we have to make. These are the things you have to pray about for wisdom and discernment, and how to respond and what to do about it. Because those days, it appears, are upon us. And by days, I mean literal days, like 7-10 days, whatever it is. I don't know. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. A lot of people have already had their stuff, their EBT, SNAP, whatever, canceled or significantly reduced. I've been sharing those market gains videos for a long time now. So check out the post if you want to know more. I'll share more to that, the Substack and whatnot, since they let me back on there. Thank you once again for everybody that, saw those clips and have looked at them and liked them and shared them out or whatever else. But that's a small portion of the stuff I talked about, and the information I shared and what I tried to get across to people, about the end of this month into November, and beyond. So anyway, that's it. I hope y'all have a good and blessed evening. Take care. Bye-bye.